Hello and welcome to my Carolina homestead. My name is Michelle and today I'm making iced oatmeal cookies. These are delicious, they're soft, they're chewy, and they're sweet. So I'm going to start off this recipe with 2 cups of rolled oats. I just put those in the food processor and pulsed them about 20 times. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. And just mix those together with a whisk. And then I'm going to set that aside. And now I'm just going to grate some fresh nutmeg. This is going to be about a half a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon depending on your preference. For me, the more the better. I'm going to add 1 cup of salted butter to my stand mixer. This is at room temperature. I did put it in the microwave for about 60 seconds and drop the power level down to 30% so it wouldn't melt, but it just softened it up perfectly. And then I'm going to turn the mixer on and let it go for about 30 to 45 seconds just to fluff that butter up before I start adding ingredients. I ran out of brown sugar for this recipe, so I had to make some. If you would like to learn how to make your own brown sugar at home, I can leave a link to a 30-second video in the description box for you. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar to the mixer, along with half a cup of white sugar. I should have stopped the mixer before adding the sugar because it did make a cloudy mess, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to add 2 eggs that have been sitting out at room temperature to the mixer, and I'm going to add those in one at a time. So I've turned the mixer off and I'm just scraping down the bowl, the size of the bowl 1 time, and then I'm going to turn the mixer back on and let that all incorporate. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of real vanilla extract to the cookie dough and just incorporate that in. So I've removed the whisk attachment and added the paddle attachment and turned that on low. Next I'm adding in the nutmeg, and I'm also going to add in 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Now I'm adding 1/3 of the oat and flour mixture into the mixer, and I'm incorporating that. Once that's incorporated, I'm going to add another 1/3. And I'll do that until all the flour and oat mixture has been incorporated into the bowl. Now I'm just going to clean off the paddle attachment and then start to scoop out my cookie dough and put it onto the baking sheet. I have 2 half-size sheet pans that are 13 by 18 that I have lined with silicone mats. And I'm using a 2-inch cookie dough scoop and scooping out these cookies onto my sheet pan. I want to space them out about 2 inches apart, so probably going to end up with about 12 cookies per sheet pan. My oven is preheating at 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake these cookies for about 12 to 15 minutes, just until the bottom of the cookies start to get a little brown edge on them. Once they're finished, I'm going to take them out and give them a good slam on my countertop just so they flatten out and become even. Just going to test the tops and make sure that they're fully cooked through. And now I'm going to make the icing. So I'm adding 1 cup of powdered sugar to a flat dish, and then I'm going to add heavy cream to it. You can add milk to this also. Probably about 1.5 tablespoons is what you'll need. I'm not measuring the cream, I'm just going to add it in and mix that up with a whisk until I get the consistency that I want. I don't want the icing to be too thin because I don't want it to slide off the cookies. And I don't want it to be too thick because I don't want my cookies to get stuck in the icing as I'm dipping them. My cookies have been sitting on a cooling rack while I'm making the icing. They are cool to the touch and cool all the way through to the inside. You don't want them to be warm at all because it will prevent the icing from setting up on your cookies. I ended up using about 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream with my powdered sugar to make the icing the consistency that I wanted. And you can see when I pick the whisk up, it just kind of drips right off the tip, and that's what I'm looking for. It does have a little bit of pull to it. I don't want it too thin that it just slides right off the cookie, so this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. I have a platter now, and I'm going to ice these cookies by turning them upside down and dipping them into the icing. I'm just going to drop them in there and just kind of drip off the excess and set them on the platter so that the icing can set up. You can rush this process by sticking the cookies in the refrigerator for half an hour, and it will help the icing set up a little bit quicker. After the first coat of icing dries, I do go back with a brush and brush on a second coat just to fill in all those gaps and get a nice even coverage over the top. I really hope you try this recipe out, and if you do, please leave a comment down below and tell me how it turned out. Thank you so much for stopping by our channel today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on My Carolina Homestead. Take care.